The experiment that poisoned an entire community. The Tuskegee Syphilis Study. Imagine trusting your doctor, only to find out years later that the treatment you needed was deliberately kept from you. Now imagine that happening not just to you, but to hundreds of people in your community. This isn't fiction. This is one of the darkest medical scandals in American history. Welcome back. Today, we're diving into a real story that sounds almost unbelievable: the Tuskegee Syphilis Study, an experiment that ran for 40 years, left hundreds untreated, and changed the way medical ethics work forever. Let's go back to 1932. The United States was in the middle of the Great Depression. In Macon County, Alabama, many African American families were struggling with poverty, limited health care, and lack of education. At the time, a disease called syphilis was widespread. Left untreated, it could cause severe damage to the brain, heart, and nervous system, and eventually lead to death. That's when the U.S. Public Health Service stepped in, claiming they wanted to study the disease. But what they actually did would become a national disgrace. Researchers recruited around 600 black men, most of them poor sharecroppers. 399 had syphilis, 201 did not. But here's the catch: the men were never told they had syphilis. Instead, they were told they were being treated for something called bad blood, a vague term used at the time for various illnesses. They were promised free medical care, meals, and even burial insurance. But the truth? They were not being treated at all. The goal of the study was simple and horrifying: to observe what happens when syphilis goes untreated. Doctors monitored the men for decades, taking blood samples, performing painful procedures, and documenting their slow decline. Then came a turning point. In the 1940s, penicillin was discovered and quickly became the standard cure for syphilis. This should have ended the study immediately, but it didn't. The researchers made a chilling decision. They deliberately withheld the cure. Even worse, they prevented many of the men from accessing treatment elsewhere. The consequences were devastating. Dozens of men died directly from syphilis. Many others suffered severe complications. Their wives were unknowingly infected. Children were born with congenital syphilis. Entire families were affected. All of it preventable. For decades, the study remained hidden from the public until 1972. A whistleblower leaked the story to the press. The reaction was immediate and explosive. Americans were outraged. The government faced intense criticism. The study was finally shut down after 40 years. In 1997, more than 60 years after the study began, the U.S. government formally apologized, but the damage was already done. The Tuskegee Syphilis Study left a deep scar, especially within the black community. It created lasting mistrust in the medical system, a distrust that still exists today. But it also led to major changes: stronger ethical standards, informed consent laws, oversight committees to protect patients. This wasn't just a medical experiment. It was a betrayal of trust on a massive scale. And it serves as a reminder: science without ethics can be dangerous. If you found this story powerful, make sure to subscribe for more untold history. Because sometimes, the past still echoes in the present.